Welcome to the World Tourism Channel. Today we will show you the beauty of Italy and the 5 most beautiful tourist places in Italy. Enjoy watching. Do not forget to press the like button to get more content. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you. The Roman Forum is a rectangular public square that was located in the center of the ancient city of Rome, and was the center of many important Roman government buildings at the time. The Roman Forum, located in a small valley between the Palatine and Capitoline hills, was for centuries the heart of public life in ancient Rome, where popular celebrations and government elections were held. It was a center for public speeches, public trials, fights to the death between prisoners, and even the essence of trade and life Roman economic. The Colosseum was named the Flavian Amphitheater in honor of the Flavian dynasty of emperors that established this amphitheater, and it was later called the Colosseum in relation to the huge statue of Nero that was located next to it, and it is called in Latin, Colossus, in Latin, Colossus, after the Colossus of Rhodes. This name came from Latin to various European languages during the Middle Ages, including the Arabic language during the period of taking and transferring Western literature and books at the end of the 19th century, and during the period of British and French occupations and mandates over various Arab countries. The arena was used for gladiator fighting and mass competitions such as mock naval battles, animal hunting, and execution, and reenactment of famous battles and dramas that were based on classical myths, where its capacity ranged from 50,000 to 80,000 people per the stands consisting of 8 rows. He was sitting in the foreground near the sandy square, the emperor and the members of the Senate, while the lower classes of society were seated at the top. Its opening ceremony lasted 100 days, as the entire classes of the Roman people participated in that event. During that celebration, dozens of wrestlers and monsters died who sacrificed their lives for the fun and entertainment of the people, and the sailors helped them set up tents that protected the spectators from the strong sunlight. Closing square bracket. Piazza Navona was once the Domiziano Stadium, and this stadium had a capacity of about 30,000 spectators, and with time this stadium was demolished, and Piazza Navona was built over it, and in this large square there are 3 beautiful fountains, the most famous of which is the central fountain that was sculpted by the artist, Bernini, and is considered this fountain as one of his most important works of art, and it is considered one of the most beautiful fountains that spread in the Italian capital, Rome, which represents one of the most important rivers in the world, namely, the Nile River, the Danube River, the Ganges River and the Rio della Plata River, and overlooks the Navona Square, the Santa Agnesi in Acconi church that he began to build in the year 1652 AD. Carlo and Girolamo Rainaldi, and its construction was completed by Promini in the year 1657 AD. Today, Piazza Navona is considered one of the most important squares in which festivals and celebrations are held, and it is a meeting place for Italian and foreign artists and painters, and you can make a caricature of you for a small amount. Milan, Italian, Milano, is the second largest city in Italy in terms of population after Rome and the capital of the Lombardy region. The city has a population of more than 1.3 million people, while the population of its urban area reaches 5,248,000 people, which places it in 5th place at the level of the European Union. The massive urban sprawl that followed the period known as the Italian economic miracle in the 50s and 60s of the last century indicates that the social and economic ties have expanded beyond the city's administrative boundaries, forming a metropolitan area of 7 to 9 million inhabitants, that includes the provinces of Milan, Bergamo, Como, Lecco, Lodi, Manza, Brianza, Pavia, and Varese, and Novara. The Milan metropolitan area is part of what is called the Blue Banana, which represents the highest population and industrial density in Europe. Milan was founded by one of the Celtic peoples, and then was invaded by the Romans to become the capital of the Western Roman Empire. The city flourished in the ages central and became a commercial and financial center. Milan was subjected to many invasions over the centuries, as it was dominated by France, Habsburg Spain, and Austria, until 1859 when the city was finally annexed to the newly formed Kingdom of Italy. Milan led the process of producing the young Italian nation during the beginning of the 20th century, and became an important economic, social and political center. The city was severely affected by the devastation of World War II, as it was the main center of the Italian resistance movement in the face of the Nazi forces. The city enjoyed a long-term economic boom during the post-war years, attracting large numbers of immigrants from the countryside of southern Italy. Over the past decades, Milan has witnessed a huge increase in the number of foreign immigrants, so that more than 1/6 of its population is born abroad. Milan is the main industrial, commercial and financial center in Italy and a leading global city. The city hosts the Italian Stock Exchange, the main stock exchange in the country, in addition to the headquarters of the largest national banks and companies. Milan attracts about 2 million visitors annually thanks to its important museums, theaters and many attractions, such as the Milan Cathedral, the fifth largest cathedral in the world. The city also contains many cultural institutions and universities, which included 185,000 students enrolled in 2011, which constitutes 11% of the total number of university students in the country. Milan is one of the largest capitals of fashion and design in the world, and hosts several international events and festivals such as Fashion Week, and the Furniture Fair, which is the largest of its kind in the world, in addition to the International Expo, which the city will host in 2015. In the field of sports, Milan is the headquarters of two of the largest and oldest football clubs in Europe and the world. They are AC Milan and Inter Milan. History of the Castel dell'Ovo in Italy. The construction of Fort dell'Ovo in Italy dates back to the 12th century, and was established in the Gulf of Naples under the auspices of the Normans. The castle also bears another name, which is the Egg Castle, and since its construction it was a fortress used for various military purposes, but now it has become one of the most important tourist destinations in Naples. The fort got this name based on a joke made by the poet, Virgil, on an old legend that was widespread among the subjects. As the Neapolitans believed that the magic egg that they possessed in the past protected them from all conflicts and wars, until a day occurred and panic spread among the subjects due to the spread of the news of the egg's collapse. But the Queen of Anjou, Queen Joan, took control of the situation, and officially announced the replacement of that magic egg and the restoration of the power it possessed, so the people calmed down and the situation ended. The castle of Deulofeu also witnessed wars and conflicts, as well as other events that occurred throughout the ages, so the Bourbons decided to restructure it again due to the deteriorating condition of the building. What distinguishes Fort Albaida is that it has a distinctive view of the Mediterranean Sea, in addition to its view of the port that surrounds it, so you can enjoy the view of the sea and its calmness during the visit. The castle is also used to hold art exhibitions and some large events, which increases its tourist and historical importance. Many tourists are keen to visit the Royal Palace of Naples, in order to enjoy its architectural design in the majestic Renaissance style, which dates back to the 17th century. The Royal Palace is considered one of the most famous tourist sites in Naples. It is considered one of the most important tourist attractions in the city of Naples, Italy, and the largest historical building in the city. The Port of Naples is one of the largest Italian seaports and one of the largest seaports in the Mediterranean basin, with an annual capacity of about 25 million tons of cargo and 500,000 TEUs. Turin, located in northern Italy, is an important commercial and cultural city. Turin has the factors that make it a favorite tourist destination for many tourists around the world. It is replete with monumental buildings of Baroque architecture such as majestic churches, antique houses, castles and large squares, and towers dating back to the 19th century AD. In addition to the historical museums that tell a lot about the history of the city in particular, and Italy in general, and amazing art galleries. This is in addition to distinctive local and international restaurants, advanced entertainment centers, commercial complexes that mix entertainment and shopping pleasure, and luxury hotels and resorts that provide the best services. As well as its picturesque nature, which varies between tall mountains, green spaces with lush trees, and small water bodies. With all these historical, recreational and natural treasures, Turin offers enough attractions to be explored by visitors from all over the world. Palermo, the capital of Sicily, is located on the edge of Europe and in the heart of the ancient world. The centuries-old cultural mix explains the mosaic-tiled churches, along with the best street food in the city. In the following, the most important tourist places worth visiting in Palermo when visiting Italy. Mondello Beach. Mondello Beach, a 20-minute drive north from Palermo, is located outside the Capo Gallo Natural Park. A wide curve of white sand lapped by calm, crystal-clear waters, it's the perfect place for a swim. Mondello gets crowded during high season, so arrive early. Norman Palace. In the 9th century, the Arabs built a palace for their prince, and under the rule of the Normans, the palace became even more magnificent. It had suffered from a long period of neglect, until the Spanish viceroy restored it and extended it for use as his residence. Still a notable Norman building on the northeastern front, it attracts elegant square brickwork and mysterious arches. It is the last surviving of the original 4 towers. Inside is a typical square hall, with a square courtyard built in 1600 surrounded by 3 stories of round arched arcades. Teatro Massimo. Opened in 1897, Teatro Massimo is located in the heart of Palermo's cultural scene. The 5-story building is the largest theater in Italy, with a capacity of 1,247 spectators. He likes to visit the theater to attend the most famous opera performances every weekend. Explore the building on one of the guided tours, which take you around the auditorium, backstage area, the royal box sitting room and even on the rooftop terrace. Castello Ottavio. Today, this pink Gothic castle serves as the headquarters of a training and research company, and was originally built as a luxury hotel for businessman Michele Ottavio between 1928 and 1933. Perched on top of the 350-meter-high Mount Pellegrino, it occupies a position that offers views of Palermo and the sea. Follow more, the most famous tourist addresses worth visiting.